Hi, I'm Gayle Smolinski, running for re-election as your mayor. Election day is April 9th, and there are some issues I just wanted to discuss with you before you make your vote. This segment involves downtown redevelopment. You know, there are a lot of rumors and speculations about what is and isn't going on in our downtown. I want to share a little bit of history with you first. Our downtown had problems as far back as the late 60s. There were two studies done, one in the late 60s, one in the early 80s, about what could be done by the village to revitalize the downtown. When I was first elected in 1986 as a trustee, I found those studies and realized the one thing that was missing was a financing vehicle to make it happen. I happened to attend a seminar a few years later on a new tool that was being presented to non-home rule communities like Roselle. It's one of the few things that we can do to spur on economic development, and it's called tax increment financing. I brought this idea to the then mayor and the rest of the trustees, and we adopted a tax increment financing district in the early 90s, and thus the redevelopment of our downtown began. We have spent the last 18 years redeveloping our downtown and changing the face of our community, especially by those who are driving through it or on the train. Despite what some people think, we have achieved the major goal of our TIF district, and that's to increase the assessed valuation, bringing in property tax revenue not only for the village, but the other taxing bodies involved. At the beginning of our TIF district, all the parcels of land that are involved paid a total of $30,000. We ended the TIF district this past December, and the property taxes being paid on these parcels of land are now $1,450,000. If you live in the village will be getting an extra $140,000 in revenue starting in 2014. And if you live in the districts of District 12 or 108, our elementary and high school districts, they're going to be getting $500,000 each of new property tax revenue. I'd say that our TIF district financially is a success. These tax revenues come into the village whether the stores are vacant or not. And I want to say a word about that. I'm as disappointed as everybody else that we don't have exactly the kind of uses that we want in downtown. We don't have a number of restaurants to choose from. We don't have unique little shops. But we do have plenty of business downtown. And most of these are run by Roselle residents. If you go along Main Street, we have a fitness center, we have a flower shop, we have an Italian restaurant, we have a pet store that has pet supplies and dog grooming, and we have two wonderful salons and spas and a flower shop. Most of these are run by Roselle residents taking their money and making the effort to bring a service to our community. If you've read any of the candidate profiles that have been running in the Daily Herald, whether they're from Wheaton, Glendale Heights, Carroll Stream, any community that's surrounding us, they all have the same goal, economic development. So we're not alone in our struggles. Our Main Street buildings came online right as the recession hit. And so we are working and have been working to make sure that we bring the kind of uses that we all want downtown. My goal is to have a thriving downtown as a place that we can all gather. And I hope that you'll join me in welcoming the new restaurant that's coming to Main Street and Prospect in the next few months. We have a broker that we've hired to help us market some of the land that the village owns in our TIF district. And we see a rosy future as we're starting to climb out of the economic recession. We haven't given up. We will continue to be aggressive in our marketing. But again, remember, our downtown has only been completed for a couple of years. So thank you for listening. I hope I've answered any questions you have about how our downtown was started, what our goals are, and what our future can be. And I ask for your vote on April 9th.